Malawi, the warm heart of Africa. Its economy driven by agriculture, with 80% of the population directly involved in this sector, creates opportunities for organizations like AgDevCo to invest and transform agriculture from subsistence to sustainability. Traditionally, most Africans are farmers. This means for many Africans, land is their most valued possession. From growing cocoa in Ghana to apples in South Africa, farming has always been a very important part of the African heritage. In Malawi's Chikwawa district, the arid land has forced communities into perpetual poverty. Despite having ample land, the farmers have not been able to exploit this to their advantage. As the cost of input increases, the prices of traditional cash crops have continued to plummet on the international markets, while the erratic rains and continued climatic changes have driven most ardent of farmers out of business. So for years, vast areas of land have remained idle and unfarmed. Yet, the irony is that the Shire River, fed by Lake Malawi, meanders its way past Chikwawa on its way to the Indian Ocean. The community of 378 farmers came together to form Phata, a cooperative of landowners.
The project started in 2011 with a request by the community for AgriCane to assist with the acquisition of funding to be able to develop sugarcane, irrigated sugarcane in the lands that they were using under dry land cropping, which is not very successful because of the erratic rains that we experience in the Lower Shire.
In 2011, Phata Cooperative, with support of AgriCane, was the beneficiary of a grant fund supported from the European Union and a part matching loan through AgDevCo for a project aimed at diverting 300 hectares of what was previously used for traditional seasonal cash crops to sugarcane fields. The farmers had individually agreed to contribute their pieces of land to be turned into commercial all-year-round production fields to supply the Ilovo Sugar Processing Factory, who committed to a long-term steady market agreement.
Tinawatenga iwo kuti akhale ngati aphunzitsi athu amene angathe kutipezera njira zoti tingathe kuyambira ulimi umenewu. Chifukwa patokha tinalibe choti tingathe kuyamba nacho.
We're training them because our main aspect is not to do it for them, but our main aspect is to train them how to do it. So that's why we are here. Not to do it for them for the whole life, but train them how to do it. And sometimes we may not be here. They must be able to do it themselves.
When I look at the Phata project, it answers a lot of things that we look at in the development world. Many of us in the development agriculture sector look for sustainability.
And such is the power of the funding and farmers' dedication, so much that after the first harvest in 2013, the dividends revived the community beyond recognition.
Tinayamba ulimi 2012, 2013 tinakolola. Mu December tinalandira ndalama. Zimene titazigwirisa ntchito, tinaona kusinthika kwakukulu pa mioyo yathu.
We completed that season with a total tonnage of 32,600 tons of cane, which was equivalent to just over 3,300 tons of sugar, which in turn raised a revenue of 504 million kwacha, which was sufficient to cater for all our costs.
But this transformation has also benefited even those that are not shareholders of the scheme, with employees of the cooperative sourced from the surrounding community harvesting off Phata's success. Alice is a single mother and is just one of the many people who have been employed by Phata, and the money that she earns votes a long way in improving her domestic situation.
Ndinde kamene ni magarantia ni makula yokuja zovala zane samenyo samene jana mwana akatwabira naye kuchiparala tandizika bakoma uri anazirani azonika bwino
me angwamba kukira chirwawo amabanga ngacheve kumandi batsene bano ana kumataniza bakoma bale.
In a remarkably short space of time, the Phata scheme has taken off and members of the cooperative jealously and proudly guard cane fields from intruders.
Ifeyo titakhala pansi tinaona kuti ngati aino ake titati tatenga mbali pogadira nzimbeyi chitetezo chizakhala chokwanira bwinobwino.
This spirit of active participation and dedication to the cause is what makes the Phata scheme truly unique. But apart from that, the project is innovative in its approach. The farmers have been introduced to new and more effective and sustainable methods of farming and irrigation.
We have 300 hectares of irrigated sugarcane on this estate, and these 300 hectares are irrigated with center pivot irrigation. It's a very efficient way of irrigating sugarcane, but also other crops. The one behind me, it's a 9 towers pivot. We irrigate 70 hectares with this pivot.
Apart from growing sugarcane, Phata has also incorporated fish farming and other cash crops like maize, beans, and vegetables into the Phata project to address food security and income diversification risks. With the assistance from other partners such as Concern Universal, who trained the farmers in capacity building, Opportunity Bank, who provided the cooperative with their first working capital and offered financial literacy training, including the opening of bank accounts for each member, and Scottish Aid, who initiated and supported the diversification of fruit trees, fish farming, and rice production, thereby giving the project a longer-term sustainability approach. At the end of the day, with just pieces of land as their only investment, the farmers' lives have been transformed beyond their wildest dreams. And as long as this scheme remains productive, the farmers are assured of a livelihood for as long as they live.
There's many lessons as we've heard and seen that we can take out of this project and apply them across the sector, not just in sugarcane, across the whole agriculture sector. And it's just a matter of us replicating. But the key thing is having a good mix of management and having a good mix of the willingness of the people with a vision to drive it.